This is an IBG News radio service. News read by Arthur. News sponsored by My Doctor Rank app. An online secure platform to consult with your healthcare consultant, a platform developed by Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited. News provided by Indian Army Public Relations Office. Eastern Command pays homage to those who made supreme sacrifice on the occasion of Vijay Diwas 2021. As part of 50th Vijay Diwas celebrations, commemorating the victory of Indian Armed Forces and Mukti Bahini over Pakistani forces in 1971 war, a memorial service for those killed in action was held at Vijay Smarak at Fort William, Kolkata on the 16th of December 2021. The solemn ceremony began with religious invocations by priests of all faiths, as is the norm of Indian Armed Forces. The air was filled with a melodious rendition of patriotic hymns and bhajan played by Army Band, which wafted across the Vijay Smarak, further adding to the ambience of the solemn occasion. Veterans lay wreaths, next of kin of 1971 operations, former chiefs/army commanders of the three services and Lieutenant General Manoy Pandey, AVSM, VSM, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief Eastern Command. As buglers sounded the last post and rouse, from the rampart behind the magnificent edifice of the War Memorial, the participants observed 2 minutes of silence to pay homage to all those who made the supreme sacrifice. This is a IBG News radio service. News sponsored by V. Shop. Retail video-enabled app by Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited. Mr. Anil Prakash Kastua, Managing Director, Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited, congratulated Indian Army, Navy and Air Force for glorious 50 years of Vijay Diwas win over the enemy at the door and establishing the excellence of dedication, determination and valor for the nation. He also added, "I remember 1971 16th December, was a day when we all at our office danced at the floor as soon as the news came of Pakistani army surrender at Dhaka. It was a memory to cherish throughout your lifetime." Somewhere my startup Rank Tech Solutions was also inspired by the win of 1971. So our products My Doctor Rank and V. Shop. All are dedicated to show the excellence of India at global standard. Our best wishes for a long-standing friendship between two nations on this auspicious day of Vijay Diwas. Jai Hind and God bless people of India, Bangladesh and the Indian Defence.
This is an IBG News radio service. News read by Mirai. News sponsored by My Doctor Rank app. An online secure platform to consult with your healthcare consultant, a platform developed by Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited. News by Press Information Bureau, New Delhi. 16th December 2021. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh says, Government has accorded approval for setting up the largest nuclear power generating site at Jaipur in Maharashtra with a total capacity of 9,900 megawatts. Minister says, presently techno-commercial discussions to arrive at the project proposal with MS. EDF, France are in progress. Union Minister of State, Independent Charge, Science and Technology, Minister of State, Independent Charge, Earth Sciences, MoSPMO, Personnel, Public Grievances, Pensions, Atomic Energy and Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh said, the government has accorded in principle approval of the site at Jaipur in Maharashtra for setting up 6 nuclear power reactors of 1,650 megawatts each in technical cooperation with France, which would make it the largest nuclear power generating site with a total capacity of 9,900 megawatts. In a written reply to a question in the Rajya Sabha today, Dr. Jitendra Singh informed that the project is proposed to be set up at Jaipur site in Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. He said, presently techno-commercial discussions to arrive at the project proposal with MS. EDF, France are in progress. In a separate written reply to a question in the Rajya Sabha on nuclear power capacity, Dr. Jitendra Singh informed that the present installed nuclear power capacity in the country is 6,780 megawatts, and the share of nuclear power in the total electricity generation in the country is about 3.1% in the year 2020 to 2021. The minister said that nuclear power is clean and environment friendly, apart from having a huge potential to ensure the country's long-term energy security on a sustainable basis. The nuclear power plants have so far generated about 755 billion units of electricity, saving about 650 million tons of CO2 emission. Jitendra Singh said that the net zero targets are expected to be met through a combination of various clean energy sources, including nuclear power. In this context, the present nuclear power capacity of 6,780 megawatts is planned to be increased to 22,480 megawatts by 2031 on progressive completion of projects under construction and accorded sanction. More nuclear power reactors are planned in future. The government has taken several measures to enhance the generation from nuclear power plants in the country. These include a code of administrative approval and financial sanction of 10 indigenous 700 megawatts pressurized heavy water reactors (PHWRs) to be set up in fleet mode with provision of equity support. Resolution of issues related to civil liability for nuclear damage (CL&D) Act and creation of Indian Nuclear Insurance Pool (INIP). Amendment of the Atomic Energy Act to enable joint ventures of public sector companies to set up nuclear power projects.
This is an IBG News radio service. News read by Billy. News sponsored by V-Shop app. An online secure platform to bring business and customer in retail world together. Platform developed by Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited. News by Press Information Bureau, New Delhi. December 16, 2021. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh says ISRO is developing a small satellite launch vehicle, SSLV, with private participation to be launched in first quarter of 2022. Government has sanctioned 169 crore for the development of SSLV project. Union Minister of State, Independent Charge, Science and Technology, Minister of State, Independent Charge, Earth Sciences, MOS PMO, Personnel, Public Grievances, Pensions, Atomic Energy, and Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh said, ISRO is developing a small satellite launch vehicle, SSLV, with private participation to be launched in the first quarter of 2022. In a written reply to a question in the Rajya Sabha today, Dr. Jitendra Singh informed that the SSLV will provide a payload capability of 500 kilograms to a 500 kilometers planar orbit. The minister said that the development of SSLV is in the final stages and the first developmental flight of SSLV is targeted during the first quarter of 2022. He said, the government has sanctioned a total cost of 169 crore for the development project, including the development and qualification of the vehicle systems and the flight demonstration through 3 development flights, SSLV D1, SSLV D2 and SSLV D3. Dr. Jitendra Singh said that the hardware and structures for the SSLV development project, including the solid motor cases, nozzle subsystems, mandrels for the casting of solid motors, interstage structures, actuator motors and fixtures will be realized through private industry. The development of SSLV has been primarily envisaged to realize a cost-effective launch vehicle with high launch frequency and quick turnaround capability in order to cater to the growing opportunity in the global launch services market for small satellites.
This is an IBG News radio service. News read by Mirai. News sponsored by V-Shop app. An online secure platform to bring business and customer in retail world together. Platform developed by Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited. News by Press Information Bureau, New Delhi. 16th December 2021. India and Vietnam sign letter of intent to establish partnership in digital media. There is a lot to share and grow together, says Shri Anurag Thakur. Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Shri Anurag Thakur today signed a letter of intent, LOI, with Mr. Gue Mana Hang, Minister of Information and Communication, Government of Vietnam on collaboration in the fields of digital media, paving the way for strengthening partnership between India and Vietnam. The LOI envisages sharing of information and experience in establishing policies and regulatory frameworks on digital media and social networks, and conducting capacity building and training programs for media professionals and officials in the two countries. The warmth in the relationship between India and Vietnam was reflected in the cordial discussion between the two Hobieli ministers at the residence of Sri Thakur. The Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting emphasized that the deep relationship between India and Vietnam was further strengthened with the recent visits of the Hobieli President and Hobieli Prime Minister of India to Vietnam, and that today's meeting would shape the bilateral cooperation in the field of new technologies and challenges, such as the infodemic, which all countries are grappling with during the COVID-19 pandemic. Shri Thakur also informed the Vietnamese counterpart about the digital media ethics code being implemented by the government since February 2021. Mr. Hung invited the Shri Thakur to Vietnam and talked about enabling the journalists of both the countries to access information about the socio-economic developments in each other's nations for wider dissemination of success stories and stronger people-to-people ties. The meeting was also attended by Shri Shashi Shekhar Vempati, CEO, Prasar Bharati, Shri Jaideep Bhatnagar, Principal DG, PIB, and Shri Vikram Sahai, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, among other officials from the Indian and Vietnamese side. This year completes 5 years of comprehensive strategic partnership between India and Vietnam, and the year 2022 will mark 50 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Thanks for being with us. Have enjoyable time. Jai Hind and watch us for next bulletin.
Rank Tech Solutions, changing the way the world consults with healthcare consultants. High-tech business disruption by Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited. Fast-changing retail business world and shop, making it a cakewalk for bringing client and business together. Rank Tech Solutions Private Limited, changing the business automation with high-tech solutions. Secure business process ensured.